What's going on, everybody? Welcome to G Myers World. And what we're going to be doing here right now is talking about where LeBron James will end up with his decision number 3. Now, we know the first decision, which was going from going from Cleveland to Miami. We know how that turned out. People like Skip Bayliss like to talk about the biggest meltdown ever in 2011 when they were defeated by the Dallas Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki being the only star on that team. After that, they went on to win 2. He then, with decision number 2, returned to Cleveland. And now with decision number 3, after J.R. Smith turned out to be one of the biggest idiots I've ever seen in any sports media, it's no way that he can return there. I don't think, people are already saying that he's confirmed that he's leaving Cleveland. I don't think that it's something that he wants to do, because what everybody that plays a sport like basketball, football loves to do is to play in their hometown, because it's nothing like home cooking. But when your hometown is just doing you straight dirty on a regular basis, you have to make a decision for yourself. Obviously, right now, most people are going to say that he can never pass Jordan due to the whole situation with the rings and everything like that, 3 and 6, things of that nature. Overall, looking at LeBron James, I don't see how, as a player, he doesn't at least compare to Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's legacy can never be... it can never be passed. I don't care how good a player is, just because of the time and place and the era and what he was able to do. But we have to look at it as a player. Like, player to player, LeBron James is at least comparable to Michael Jordan. When you're looking at the actual feats that were accomplished by Michael Jordan, I can understand why a lot of people are very upset, because that was a time where, if you look at the respect level, people really respected Michael Jordan. A lot of the people that are, LeBron James contemporaries, the people that are playing with him right now, that level of respect is not there. But there also wasn't social media during the time that Michael Jordan played. We see that Michael Jordan, as mentally tough as he was, he felt the need to also respond to LeVar Ball. So there's a lot of surrounding factors that go into the errors. And is Michael Jordan the GOAT? You would have to say he is, based on what he's done to the game of basketball. But like I said, regardless of the GOAT talk, I'm talking about players. What LeBron James has been able to do as a player, off the court and on the court, has, in my opinion, it cannot be matched by anyone that's ever played the game. His impact, with social issues and things like that, is unmatched. What he gets a lot of flack for is simply, like I said, right now, it's a lot of flopping that goes on. Back in the day, dudes were getting punched right in the jugular, bro, and had to get up and keep playing. There was no, flopping, stuff like that. And I think that, that's what really goes into the fact why people make this decision like a whole drama queen, king, whatever thing it is. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to preface, my thoughts on the situation before I got into where I think he's going to end up. And after game 1 of the NBA Finals in 2018, a lot of people, when they, they released the footage of him finding out before they went into overtime that they had a timeout, J.R. Smith is an idiot. A lot of things were going on in his mind, because they were underdogs, I believe, by 13 or something like that, with Vegas. And he had a 51-point game, which I believe the jersey just sold for $100K recently. And he put everything into that game. And when you look at the Golden State Warrior team, the one thing I don't understand, even when I'm arguing in barbershops, out with my friends, when they're like, yeah, he should have been able to do more, he's the best player in the world. He's one guy against 4 All-Stars. Okay? Let's look at his lineup. All right? Let's just look at the lineup. He has Kevin Love, who, sometimes he comes out, sometimes he doesn't. But in my opinion, for what he needs right now with toughness, he's a wash. Draymond Green has his way with him on a regular basis. It's not even close. You got J.R. Smith. Okay? Look, I don't you see, I don't want to go through his lineup, because I don't know what they were doing there. When you start talking about George Hill and stuff like that, this doesn't make any, Tristan Thompson, these dudes are trash. Look, and when I say trash, I mean in a receptacle. I'm not talking about we throw a little piece of paper that's not really garbage. These dudes are trash. When it comes to when you're comparing them to the Golden State Warriors, who is the meta? That's the super team. What everybody is expecting is for LeBron James to have wings come out of his back and to fly back and forth across the court and keep scoring consistently for his team to win. We all know that's not going to happen. You're going to need help from your teammates, and that's what my issue is. When you're looking at team, People misconstrue team with player. Is he the best player right now in the NBA? Yes. Going into the next season, he's still the number one player. Kevin Durant has shown that without Steph Curry, without, what is the other idiot over there? Klay Thompson. Without these Splash Brothers on the edge that take so much attention, he's not going to be what he is right now. People seem to forget. Let me just explain something to you guys. Everybody seems to forget that these three guys, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant, were on the same team at one point with Ibaka. Like, when you don't have those threats, you can't perform the same way. Keep in mind, LeBron is doing that, and they know that J.R. Smith sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, the teams that they're playing against, they know that his team sucks. So it's very, very difficult to say that any player can do what LeBron James has been able to do. When he took that original Cleveland Cavaliers team, I can't even remember anybody's name that was on the team when they got swept by the Spurs. People don't seem to realize how difficult that is. You're playing against high class, high intensity competitors. And this man is doing so much by himself. And people will find everything to make a situation where it's like, okay, he's not as good as Jordan. What does not being as good as Jordan have to do with anything that's going on? The man is out there putting everything on the line on a regular basis with a bunch of bums, disgusting players that have no business suiting up in an NBA uniform. And they're going to the promised land 8 years straight with this man. And we still have this whole talk about, oh yeah, what about this? Let's understand this, right? LeBron James leave Cleveland. What happens? They get Kyrie Irving. With Kyrie Irving by himself, what do? They're in the lottery every year. LeBron James comes back. They win a championship. LeBron James comes back. They are still going to the finals every year. 8 straight years to the finals. But this is where it comes to the point where it's like, look, wherever he ends up, that team is going to the finals. Would I prefer that he stays in the East? I would, because it's just easier, and we know that he's going there because people are just scared of him in the East. Like, he simply ran through the East by just pure fear. Dudes, like, look, they just couldn't perform when he was out on the court, bro. It was just really, really wild. That was the LeBron James effect in the East. Now, when it comes to the West with the Lakers, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard possibly, I don't know what's going to happen with that, because if I'm the Spurs, I wouldn't keep Kawhi Leonard in the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they're willing to send Kawhi to the Cleveland Cavaliers, that would be ideal. That keeps LeBron there, but he would need a guarantee, which I don't think he's gotten, because sources have already said he's not coming back to the Cavaliers. Now, if they haven't released J.R. Smith yet from the Cavs, that's also not a good sign, because I would have released him after game 1. He is a complete and utter idiot. If you have a guy that's basically carrying you on his back throughout the entire season to the finals every year, the least you can do is know the score to the game. That is completely unacceptable. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Isn't that a song? I think Beyonce? I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to tell you this right now. That alone would make me not want to play for the Cleveland Cavaliers anymore if I'm LeBron. With what J.R. Smith did was a summation of what the Cavaliers were. It's one guy with a bunch of other guys that have no idea what they're doing. And it seems bad. Oh, yeah, they're NBA players too. Well, prove it. Make a free throw, George Hill. Prove it. Prove that you're an NBA player. You guys suck. But let's not get into that. Decision number 3. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to end this video off with the fact that I think that it's a possibility based on where his son is going to be playing high school ball, which Gary Payton has confirmed he's already on that in that school. He may end up with the Lakers. I don't like the Rocket situation. Is it a chance that he stays with Cleveland only if Kawhi comes? I do believe that wherever LeBron James ends up, that he is going to have at least 2 veteran players with him. I don't think he goes anywhere without those 2 veteran players with proper knees. Not Dwayne Wade knee status, okay? With proper knees, and they can walk like human beings. I think he ends up with 2 superstars. I think he makes a run. I think he goes wherever he goes and wins a championship. That's what I believe happens with this whole situation with the decision number 3. But I had to explain exactly what I was feeling about the whole situation and why I believe that it's okay when he leaves Cleveland for a second time. I want to thank you guys for watching the G Miles World Podcast. Make sure you guys know we're on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Definitely download free podcasts on the go. One love.